McDougall. I'm here from quantumenergyhealing.co.uk. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a multidimensional quantum healer. I work through the 12 layers or 12 strands of the human energy field. I also practice QHHT, quantum hypnosis, and regression therapies. What I'm here to talk to you about today are the energy shifts that have been occurring since about mid-November. And about mid-November is when the frequencies coming to Earth really started to, I'm not going to say gain momentum, but they're frequencies that are releasing the lower densities. Okay. Now, as I get into the stories or the information that's been brought to me, either talking to my higher guidance or in my energy healing sessions, please take what resonates. If you're not into it or you're not enjoying the information, just walk away. That's fine. You can come back later, or maybe you're just not that into it, and that's okay too. All right. So let's get back on track. What I saw is that when my clients were coming back to me after healings in like early November, I started to see energy systems that would have generally been open, connected energetically, not perfect, but they're on the path to opening up, ascension, consciousness expansion. They're actively learning how to engage their energy fields, understanding the level of knowledge that's held in each layer, and working with that, connecting to their own guidance and being led to where they need to go, which is great. But then what I saw after Christmas is that these same people, some would have been energy healers, so they know, they're aware of their own energy. Their energy systems were completely shut down, and you could say disconnected from the light. Now that seems quite dramatic as a statement, but let's put it in perspective, because understand it's what is happening to the human is also happening to Mother Earth. Metaphorically, this is all happening on various layers, but I just want to put it in a context that's tangible for the individuals who choose to listen to this. So when I'm saying their energy field is shut down, for me, when energy is connecting to the light, receiving, open, as opposed to projecting and closed, open and receiving would be clockwise, closed would be counterclockwise. So that's a metaphor that my higher guidance shows to me, so I understand what we're dealing with. And their entire energy field will be shut down from their cosmic gateway all the way to the cosmic sun star. Now, people who are energy healers or who are sensitive to energy, or very sensitive empaths, they know that about mid-November, their energy system took a nosedive. Okay. Now, it may have been triggered by a traumatizing event in their lives, or something else has come up that's triggered them, or maybe they've just gone into a funk where they were open, expressive, engaging, but all of a sudden everything's gotten cloistered. They're getting confusing information when they're connecting to their higher selves or their I am. Maybe there's a lot of interference. They're tired. They're agitated. They're holding all those lower frequencies. And to me, that feels like the small human. That's the 3D human that's holding all of their wounds. Okay. So all of a sudden I see these people who've been making great progress go into a metaphorical tailspin, so to speak. And we're going to talk about that. So if this is what any of you have been feeling or have felt, I'd like to talk about it, because it's very easily reversed when you understand that each of you has the power to do so. But also understand that what you're feeling is for a reason. Okay, so let's step back and look at the big picture. Now, You can go on YouTube and every day you'll see somebody going Schumann resonance, Ascension energies coming in, solar blast, you know, hang on, here we go. This is going to be happening every day for many months. For many months. Okay. Okay, for what I'm talking about, many months. And then there will be softer, more gradual energies after that, where there's a bit more, I'm using the word flow, but it's like not as extreme, shall we say. Okay. So right now you have these extreme, we'll call them ascension energies coming in. And the way they've been shown to me is that I know people use terms of expansion and contraction as a universal consciousness frequencies. So you have, we'll call these ascension, expansion energies coming through our galaxy. Okay. And what they show me is that not all of the galaxy is going to choose to participate in these frequencies. But Mother Earth and the solar system is a part of this expansionist or ascension growth in consciousness or holding higher frequencies. You can look at it from a couple different perspectives. And therefore, Mother Earth obviously is included. So these frequencies coming through are very much like if you have a dirty pipe and you whack it and the vibration takes all of the dirt off, okay? So the vibrations coming in are affecting Mother Earth as much as the humans. And these vibrations or these frequencies are here to help all of us release some of the deepest, darkest densities we hold, okay? And so when these deepest, darkest densities come up, it is a natural human response, if you're not equipped with the knowledge and understanding, to pull in to that agony, that hurt, and that pain. However, we are being given the opportunity in this now moment to transcend that density and release it. In this now moment, we're going to talk about that. Now, let's go to Mother Earth's journey. So I'm sure anybody who's read this recently, there was an earthquake that occurred and the tsunami was record. It's in all the newspapers, okay? When you go energetically into the energetic signatures, and obviously I've got some information, but I only spent some time asking questions and feeling it out. There are layers of information to be understood. This is the information I've brought through, okay? When you look at the energy and the purpose underlying that volcano, that outburst, that release, shall we say, and you look at the energetic signature, what they showed me is if you look at Mother Earth, and again, we'll take this as a metaphor rather than literal. Say Mother Earth is 4 billion years old. I don't actually have an answer. I can't quantify it. I'm not going to try, okay? But let's say for the sake of this discussion, she's 4 billion years old. They're showing me that the traumas she was releasing in that volcano, that eruption, would have been from about, so like 2, 3, 2.5 and on billion years ago. So would you go all the way back to 3? Okay, so counting back, you could go back to 3. Okay, and then forward. Did any of those traumas relate to when human beings were, was it so most of the trauma she's holding would be before human beings were even relevant, okay, when a different level of templating and consciousness was on Earth. I don't fully understand what those traumas are, and I didn't ask, but they explained that there is a whole level of Earth history that we do not fully comprehend or understand. More will be revealed when we're able to see ourselves from a broader galactic perspective. So some of this information is coming out now from other people. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what that is. I haven't kicked the tires on this, but that's what they showed me, is that when you looked into the energy signature of that volcano, she was taking the opportunity to release some of her deepest, darkest wounds that she was holding, her lower frequency energies that she was choosing not to hold onto. The terms that you could use that a human would use to describe, okay, there were two different ways to look at it. We can call them reversals in the energy system, self-limiting beliefs or programming. Okay, what else do you want to go? Reversals, self-limiting beliefs. Okay, there's some more words, but they're not coming to me. Other people, energy healers, might call it miasma. Oh, illusion. Illusion is another word. Illusions of separation within self. I use the term illusion because, as we discuss, to be separate from source, to be separate from oneness or unity consciousness, it takes illusions. It takes belief in separation, because it doesn't naturally exist within our consciousness. We just need to understand and allow ourselves to connect to that unity oneness consciousness, which is a much more broader and expansive consciousness that we'll get into. When I talk about this consciousness, it starts to come in, and it sort of changes the way I can think or not think, for that matter. Okay, so understand that for Mother Earth, that's what she was going through. She was bringing forward her own miasma, her hybrid miasma, which is illusioned miasma, not necessarily of her soul construct. There are energetic attachments, that there may be a soul wound, but then there's an attachment, energetic attachment onto that wound that you're holding. So your actual wound might be, out of 100%, the wound that you have from your own soul experiences might be 5, 10, 15%. The attachment amplifies that signature and brings it forward to be released. So that's happening in a lot of humans right now. So that's what Mother Earth was going through. Now, we all looked at that volcano, and as beautiful as she is, she did do it in the ocean. Yeah, so limiting the damage to the greatest extent possible with a do no harm. I mean, obviously, we have to shift, but when you look at the level of density she released, she did a really good job of it. Okay. At the same time, what they showed me is that where that volcano, was it exactly where the volcano? Okay. They'd rather say that the experience of Mother Earth's experience of releasing the density from the volcano then allowed higher frequency consciousnesses. So if the human has a 12-strand template, consciousnesses with like 18, 24, would you go higher? So about 18 to 24 strands of templating, expanded consciousness. We're building templates for the creation of Mother Earth, New Earth, to be grounded into the lower frequencies and created in matter, as matter. Okay. Are these templates meant to, I'm asking about like the lower, like 3D, and no, the templates aren't meant to be grounded into 3D. Not, yeah, from about 5D up. So they are the 5D templatings for New Earth on different levels. So understand that even as Mother Earth is purging her density, she's making room for new light, new templates to be held. Okay. The same goes for humans. I'm stepping back and giving the example of Mother Earth so that we understand we're all going through the process. The metaphors are similar and playing out on different levels. Okay. The solar system is similarly going through its own process of healing now as well. We won't get into that. Okay, it's beyond the scope of this discussion. So now let's take the human and the reversal frequencies that are running through the human energy field. If you are a human that suddenly felt a bit cut off, a bit wounded, you know, many people have said, oh gosh, it's been a really hard few months. This happened with that person, that happened with that person, and it goes on and on and on. You're not alone, but there is a reason for it. Okay. So now that we've established what it feels like as a human to have your energy field go into a reversal system, okay? And that means that your energy field is closing in on itself, okay? You're working only in the lower frequencies, and you're shutting down from your more expanded consciousness of your higher self at the 9th level, your I am at the 12th layer. And of course, we do have higher frequency consciousnesses that we can also anchor in to guide us, okay? As you allow and get comfortable with your higher self consciousness, you'll start integrating it. You'll walk day in and day out connected. That will expand into the I am. And then from there, the other frequencies will start connecting and guiding you as well. Right. Now, an energy field that's in alignment. Oh, this isn't working, is it? Whoa. Oh, no. Oh, look at that. My screen's oh, guys, I didn't mean it to be quite this way. I didn't realize that this fake screen was going to do this. You get an idea though. Ooh. Okay. This is an energy field that's in alignment. Maybe I should take off that screen. I'm so sorry. This is just not working. Okay. This is an energy field in alignment. You see the 12 layers. I'm going to turn my background off. Hold on, guys. So sorry. This is not working. Background off. None. All right. There you go. Okay. This is an energy field where all the layers of the energy field, and you'll see 12 layers to the human energy field. They're all in alignment, source at the top, and grounded into Mother Earth. Okay. And this was what an expanded, healthy, open human energy field would look like metaphorically. Okay. Now, this is a process and a journey. Understand that it takes time to embody this. All right. This is an energy field that's got reversals running through it. Do you see how all the energy bodies are out of alignment? Okay. Now, what's interesting is that if you look at straight up and down, the fact that the various energy bodies are out of alignment, that's an indicator as to whether the individual's holding a more masculine, more divine masculine, or more divine feminine wounds in their energy field. Okay, so you can actually go into an energy signature and go, is this more divine feminine or divine masculine? And you'll be able to feel it out, and then you'll be able to feel out which level the energy field it's held at, what layer of consciousness. All right. These densities, these are all different reflections of beliefs of separation of self, separation within self, denial of self. Okay. So now you get an idea of what a fractured consciousness looks like. Okay. Our goal is to get every human being looking as close to this as possible. And you don't have to look like this to be connecting to your higher self, your I am. You can have a lot of foibles and boo-boos and still connect. And then you'll be guided from your higher guidance into this state of consciousness, which we can talk about. So this is what my therapy room looks like. My mom painted that picture. Kind of boring. I'm going to go back to my space picture because I really like it and it makes me happy. Let's see. And thank you for coming along on the journey with me. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, a lot of people, when they see, when they're in the state of being where their energy is fractured, and you saw that picture, they are seeing themselves from the perspective that they are a human, okay? They may understand that they have wounds from their human life, from past lives on Earth. Maybe they're even considering that they are carrying wounds from their galactic lives, okay? Well, when they look at healing their energy field, they feel disempowered. They feel vulnerable, powerless, weak, that they have no choice, that it's done to them. These words, these phrases that I'm using, they resonate with divine feminine and divine masculine wounding, okay? Because a fully empowered human consciousness, the 12 layers, you don't carry any of those wounds. They've all been brought into alignment. You don't carry any self-limiting beliefs because you know who and what you are, all right? So when I work with people to bringing their energy field back into alignment, and I've got a couple soul journey readings, quantum energy healing sessions where I've got audio recordings. I'll try to make videos so that people can listen to them and relate. But first, what we do is we connect the individual to back up to their higher selves, okay? So the first thing you need to do, if you've got any noise or any distractions, is you have to know that you are allowed to connect to your higher self at the 9th layer in your energy field. Nobody can take that connection away from you. You connect to your I am. Yeah. You need to stand in the power of your energetic sovereignty. Yeah. I also want you to go up, look up as if you're part of source, looking down on you, your human energy field, because it's quite little from source's perspective. Yeah. And I want you to understand that you are also source. You hold source consciousness, you hold source knowledge, you hold source energy. Okay. So what I'm telling each and every individual and what they feel energetically is that when they step out of the human perspective, looking up, separated from the higher self, the I am source, when they see it from the perspective of that they are less than rather than equal to, that perpetuates the separation of self. That perpetuates the reversal frequencies, that perpetuates self-limitation. Yeah. It allows static in the energy field. It allows interference, right? We're all being called to step into the empowerment and ownership of our energy fields. Okay. There is also a choice. Okay. So what is interesting in all of this is that when I'm doing my energy healings, they basically explained, no, you can't go in there. We cannot go and do the healing, okay? And when I'm doing energy healing, is me as the conduit. I don't actually do anything. I'm just a translator and a conduit. I've got my higher frequency team. And then I've got the client's higher self, I am, source spark, their soul lineage. Yeah. And then we have the individual, the client's energy field. Okay. So sometimes, so first of all, let's talk about why they say we can't heal the energy field. The reason is that because now is a point of choice. People have talked about the separating of the paths, right? So when you see people who have these reversal frequencies running through their energy field, especially when it's in the cosmic gateway and the cosmic sun star, because it reverberates through the entirety of the energy field and shifts them sort of into darkness and heaviness, separation, and it's quite painful. It is only a choice that the human can make, because their free will needs to be respected. And I understood this from a high level because this is how I've always been taught how to heal. But for me, I'd have clients that were opening, expanding, talking to their higher selves all the time, and then they'd be running these reversal structures. And I'd be told, like, you can't work on them. I try to bring their energy fields into the sacred space, and it's like, coding not correct, coding not correct. And I'm like, why can't they come in? They're here. It came down to, ultimately, with all these different clients, that the healing is simple and the healing is easy, and coming back into alignment can be done without much effort, comparatively speaking, right? But the individual had to be willing to stand in the power, their own energetic sovereignty of who they are as a human. And it's not them as a human, it's them as the entirety of their 12-layer energy field. Their power, their energetic sovereignty as a cosmic consciousness to some extent. Okay? These individuals needed to allow themselves to be more expansive than the human, to see themselves as a multidimensional being, to see themselves as a cosmic consciousness. And from that perspective, the perspective, you could say, where they've been able to create planets, solar systems, galaxies. Surely if their consciousness can do that, their consciousness can heal a little human energy field. Yes? And so that's really what we're talking about. So these reversals were happening because the individuals felt disempowered and allowed themselves to carry that frequency. The frequencies are getting much more refined right now. The choices, there's the density you can carry. How do I say this? It is important to acknowledge the density that you're carrying when it is shown to you, and you'll know that by how you feel. It will always be unpleasant on some level. You need to face it, release it, and move through it. Okay? Now, let's talk about another layer that comes into this paradigm. What has also started to happen in my energy healing sessions, and maybe I'll take you through this a few steps so it's more tangible, okay? After running into this reversal structure, it's really dark and really heavy, okay? And my higher self, my team, they're all like, don't go in, don't touch it. It's kind of like, I'll take on some of those frequencies myself. And I was like, oh, anyway, I had a client that I just love to bits. We have so much fun. And she'd gone through a hard time, reasonably so. And again, I couldn't bring her energy field in. They're saying, coding not right, coding not right. And I'm like, look, she wants the healing. I see what's going on. Surely we can do this. And so as I'm sitting there going, why aren't we connecting energetically? I suddenly like merged into her energy field, and I could feel everything that was going on inside of her, which is a bit nuts. And all of a sudden I felt what it felt like to be in this reversal frequency. It literally was like being thrown into a dark box, and it was heavy and it was claustrophobic and it was suffocating. And it's like you couldn't hear anymore. You know, the heaviness was so, well, heavy, you know, And I thought, oh my goodness, I've been pulled into this reversal energy cycle. I've been pulled into this illusion, and people have many, many different names for this. Okay. The dark side of reality, dark lord, parallel dark universe, whatever. It's basically metaphors of separation from oneness and unity. Okay. We are going to talk about that in a second. So being in that space, then I myself had to pull out. Okay. And the only way I could pull out, and these were the skills that I had at that time. Okay. And it was a test for myself as well. And they're like, yes, it was. I had to pull out of being the human stuffed in this dark, suffocating place where I couldn't hear, where I was completely confused. Yeah. And I had to project myself because I said, I connect to source. I have source consciousness in me. I had to project all the way up to that frequency. And I literally, at the core of my being, had to stand in my own power that I am a being of light, that I choose to hold light, that I choose to be connected to source, and that absolutely no energy, consciousness, or entity can take it away from me but me. They can try all they want. But ultimately, even what you're attracting to you, the density and the darkness, is a reflection of a hurt or a wound you're holding inside. Okay, just understand that. It's amplified and it can be scary, but ultimately there's a frequency that you're holding that's attracting the experience. People may argue that, that's fine, but understand that that is a level of truth that when you realize that, you're really able to transcend, transmute, and expand your consciousness. So for me, I had to go down, go up to source and come down and clear my energy field. And I felt like I was clearing higher than 12 strands of DNA, higher than that. And I had to go down and get the seed. This is all metaphorical. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Okay. I had to go get the seed of the reversals, of the illusions, of the fears, of the wounds. I didn't name them. That which shall not be named. Just kidding. But I had to take it out and I handed it to source. And I said, source, you transmute this. But from there, I also had to stand in my own power that my energy field is mine and it is sovereign to me. So from there, I had to feel through each layer of my energy field and get it spinning back clockwise. Yeah. Because for me, that is the metaphor of being into alignment and holding my light. Yeah. And expansion. And then I had to feel each layer of my energy field and go, oh, this is cocked this way. Okay. Put that one back. Okay. All right. Now, I did use source energy at this point to help me come into alignment. I held that frequency. Yeah. Because I in my own mind, needed a boost to be connected to those frequencies. All right. So that is the first time that I pulled out of that structure. And it was important that I had that experience so I understood what was happening from various different perspectives. Okay. And so anybody who's having these experiences, this might be high level. There are some energy workers out there. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If any of you are feeling this, by all means, reach out. I'm happy to work with you. Or you can go into meditation and stand in your power and start clearing your energy field with source, but you must stand in your power. If you're sitting there going, how do I do this? I can't do this. I'm confused. I couldn't possibly do that. You can. When I say there's no right or wrong way to heal, balance, clear, align your energy field, that's because energy is directed by your mind. So you can be as creative as you want. Yeah. And the frequency is set by the heart. Okay. So for this reason, there are a lot of people who will say mantras or affirmations all the time. That's really great to say affirmations over and over and over and over again. But you need to understand that when you say affirmations, make affirmations, you need to hold the frequency of what you want to be and become, right? So all of the transmutation of our energy and our energy field, it's about holding the frequencies that we want to, that we choose to, okay? And I'm going to do another video on shifting from 3D, 4D, 5D and onwards, and what that experience is like and how we navigate by feeling frequency and transmuting frequency. But we won't go there right now, okay? All right, so all of you understand that. Now there's a new layer that's come through with this as well. So there's the perspective of, okay, the human will see themselves as a part of source, a part of a cosmic consciousness, and work with your own energy field and be empowered from that perspective to clear your 12-layer human energy field and bring it back into alignment, okay? Also, what I'll see when people aren't connecting to their higher selves is there will be a bit of a severing there, where the higher self won't come forward. The I am usually always comes forward. The only time the I am doesn't come forward is if the individual genuinely feels they've been forsaken by God. Okay. When an individual feels like they've been forsaken by God or abandoned by God, that's when the I am can't even step forward to speak. Okay. And that means that that person really needs to be supported in understanding their soul's divinity, okay? Which absolutely is always there. It can never be taken away. Your higher self, your I am, source, they all kick in instantaneously the minute you let them, okay? Now, I want to also talk about the unity and oneness frequencies, okay? So with people, I've done the higher self, I am source, kind of going into your energy field, standing in your own power and righting the ship, so to speak, from a tailspin. But there is another set of frequencies of consciousness that have stepped forward. And when they come in, they, first of all, the client absolutely feels completely enveloped in the frequency. It permeates every cell in the human body. But they also will take a fully reversed energy field. They'll take an energy field like this. Oh, going back to this. You get it. Let's see. No, you get it. Yeah? No, no fun. All right. Back into alignment. This. In probably about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe less. The frequency, the unity frequency, the oneness frequency, the way it's presented itself to me is that it is a, do you want to say, does it matter? Okay. Universal or cosmic consciousness. Okay. And if you were to imagine, if the human energy field is 12 layers, take the metaphor that say source is 144. This is a metaphor, don't take it literally. The unity consciousness construct and templating would be 72 strands. So you've got the human 12 strand, 12 layer energy field. The unity consciousness or oneness consciousness would be at 72 strand templating, and we'll pretend source is at 144. So it's about halfway in between, yeah? And what they explained is that there are a range of frequencies. It's a band. They're part of universal consciousness. There are other frequencies that make up, say, universal consciousness, at least the way they show it to me, okay? And when they are invited in, and every human can choose to connect and call in this frequency. And I do have a recording with a client that I'm going to try to turn into a video, because the frequency is so overwhelming. I'm hoping those of you that are sensitive can feel it and connect to the frequency, hold it, and let it heal you. Okay. But when people connect to this frequency, what they explain is that their level of consciousness, everything is one. We're all interconnected. And to be fair, as a human, it does my head in a bit as well, because I'll be like, why am I feeling sadness? Why am I crying? Why am I coughing? Sometimes I understand it's my client, but sometimes I don't honestly know the difference between my energy field, their energy field, and the oneness energy field, because literally we're connected. And they do kind of chide me like, this is my own journey and expansion. But what's so amazing is that when this unity, oneness consciousness comes in, all right, the client feels it and connects it instantaneously. As they feel the frequency and their consciousness shifting, they surrender and allow. As they do, their consciousness expands even further. I find that they start channeling information almost instantaneously. Will this happen with everyone? It depends on the mentality of the individual. Most of these people are sensitive. So the frequencies, this oneness, unity, consciousness comes in. And while I feel what's going on in the individual's energy field, I guide them simply to work with unity consciousness, saying, okay, ask them if they need to shift this. Okay, have them focus on your root chakra. Okay, this isn't running properly. Have them focus on your cosmic sun star. Literally, the healing is instantaneous, and they can feel their whole energy field releasing the densities. They can feel their energy field being brought back into alignment. They're some of the most amazing sessions I've ever seen. And so I want you all to understand, the reason I'm telling you this is that this unity or oneness consciousness, anyone can connect to it if you choose, if you invite it in, if you allow it. It will guide you. It will heal you. It's just really amazing. And so I want people to understand that from this, and also as a human, you can expand your consciousness out to these higher frequencies. And you can still walk the earth as a human. We have a 12-layer energy field because we're supposed to use it. We're supposed to ground heaven on earth. We're supposed to be multidimensional. We weren't given this super cool, awesome, highly refined energy field to ignore it. We're here to play with it, to have fun. Things get really exciting with this level of consciousness. I mean, I'm learning stuff every day. Okay, so I think I've said enough. I'm wishing you all well, lots of love. If this resonates, that's great. If you have questions, reach out to me. You can email me. My contact details are on my website and my YouTube channel. But I want every single one of you to know that what you're going through now, everyone's going through. One more little bit of information about the triggering of the density. A lot of people are talking about ascension symptoms. It was very interesting because I was kind of saying, everybody's talking about how they're feeling these, but I'm not feeling as much as they are. Is there something wrong with me? And kind of what was explained to me is I have, as well as a number of others, have done their work through some of their lower density frequencies already. Okay. And so those people are being activated to stand in a more expansive identity, hold a more expansive consciousness, right? Again, I'm still releasing density. I'm still learning about myself. I'm still learning about nuances of divine feminine, divine masculine wounds. It's so subtle. It's fascinating. But those of you who are having discomfort, exhaustion, et cetera, and I have my days as well, and I'm sure everybody does, but understand that it's just because of the density of the frequencies you're being called to release, and you're being given the choice now. So every time you don't feel well, or you're triggered, or you have sadness or anger or injustice or whatever you're feeling, sit there and be grateful that it's being brought forward for you to release, because when you release it, you can hold more light. Some of you are also going to have physical issues and manifestations. It's energetically just a mirror or reflection for the level of density you're releasing. Okay. A lot of humans have density in their first, second layers of their energy field. I call it miasma, hybrid miasma, and sort of attachment, parasitic energy. This would be energies that have connected to the energy field with which amplify the wounds. All that needs to be released. It's easy to do once you know what it is. You just need to connect to the frequency. You don't necessarily need to relive it. You don't need to experience all the details, but you do need to have an understanding of, yes, I understand how that plays out in my life. Yes, I know when I feel like that. A recognition. Okay. From there, you can take your density and you can hand it off to your higher self, I am source, and tell them to clear it for you. Each and every one of you is capable of clearing your own energy field. You just have to be empowered to know that you're capable. Okay. Can be easily taught. Well, on that note, I am teaching how to read your energy field class next weekend. You might not get this video soon enough. If you do, great. All right. Any questions, send me an email. Have a great week. Love and blessings to you all. Stand in your light. Know that you are whole already. Also know that it is very easy to clear your energy field. Anything that's been done can be undone. I've seen like galactic gateways that are snapped up and a total mess. I've seen energy fields where they're so out of alignment that whole chunks have been pulled out and don't even connect, and they're put back in, maybe a matter of an hour or two or so. But understand that energy, it's very easy to work with when you allow yourself to, and when you empower yourself. None of you are any different from me. You just have to remember. All right. Love to you all. Have a great night. See you later. Bye.